All right, guys, it's been a couple days and the votes are in. Team number two, the stall team, won by a landslide. 7 votes to 1. I gotta say, guys, I'm actually shocked. I really thought that you guys would vote for the other team just because of the general consensus about the feelings of stall on Wi-Fi. But anyway, we got a battle here going on against Pegasus, who I found on Smogon. The very first team, the very first battle that I'm doing as far as that goes. So a little bit nervous, but we're definitely going to see how it goes. It was an awesome match overall. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. He led off with a lead Roserade. I led off with a Powdon. I do apologize for the camera, guys. I was still trying to adjust it. As I did say, I was recording live. I will be recording these types of battles live because it is a stall team. So I immediately go to Heatran to take the obvious sleep. He actually goes for Grass Whistle, which surprised me. And then I started thinking, well, Roserade does run Grass Whistle if it has to run spikes, but not toxic spikes, which he does set up. So I knew I could take the sleep because this is a rest talk Heatran, so I get the sleep talk off. And luckily for me, I get the immediate Lava Plume and take his Roserade straight out. I was fearing the Focus Sash, but he doesn't have it. So I got an early 6-5 lead. Things are looking pretty good. In comes his Suicune. I'm definitely going to switch out here, but it's just a matter of what I'm going to switch to and what guy I want to reveal. In the back of my mind, I did a damage calc, and I know Hippowdon can take anything that the Suicune wants to do as far as taking one hit. But I decide here I'm going to go to Venusaur. Just to see if he goes for the Surf, and even if he decides to go for Ice Beam to try to make a prediction. I know my Venusaur can take it, but he actually sets up a sub, and this really surprised me. My head was just spinning out of control when I saw this, because I thought this might be some kind of Suicune sub Calm mindset, possibly. Now, I could stay in here and either just go for the Giga Drain and try to break the sub, but I really was fearing the Calm Mind, so I'm going to decide to switch out here and go back to Hippowdon. He actually goes for Blizzard, and this floored me. Thank God he missed. I did a damage calc for that particular move in my when I saw that. And I said, okay, well, Hippowdon will take 56% max from this Blizzard, which is a thought that I do think about later on when I think about what I'm gonna do here. And he actually sets up the Rain Dance, and I go for Roar because I didn't want it setting up any Calm Minds, but you guys will see later on what he's actually running on that Suicune. So I get as a Zelf as I go for the Roar, take his sub away. And I'm really just debating what I want to do here. I know I've got to switch out because I don't want Rain staying up. I really need Sand. It is a stall team, so I'm going to need as much residual damage as I possibly can. So I'm actually going to switch out here, probably thinking he's got Energy Ball. And I go back to Heatran. Now, I was thinking Explosion, but I'm figuring at the health he's at, he's not going to want to explode now because he hasn't really seen my team yet. So go back to Heatran. He goes for the Energy Ball. Now here, I really just wanted to see how he was going to deal with this Heatran. If he stays in, that means he has like Hidden Power Ground or something weird like that, or maybe he even does have Explosion. But he goes to Suicune here. I go for the Sleep Talk. I do get Roar, and I Roar Suicune out, but I get his Zelf again, which it sucks, but not really. I know at this point I'm thinking, okay, if he switches out again, then his Zelf has nothing for my Heatran. So I'm actually going to stay in here, and I don't go for another Sleep Talk. I made a totally numb move here because I thought I was on Sleep Talk turns, that I had put myself to sleep, but I didn't realize that Grass Whistle got put on me earlier, so I'm actually sleeping for random turns, and you guys will see later because I try to go for another move again, which really sucks, but ultimately it didn't cost me the game. Thank God. Now here is where I switched to Powdon in, thinking he might want to go for Blizzard. But I totally forgot about the water stab that Suicune was obviously going to carry, and he goes for Surf. Doesn't take me out because this Powdon is especially defensive. So I was kind of kicking myself a little bit, and I really started thinking, okay, what do I want to do? I don't want to stay in case he wants to go for the kill. So, although I did consider it, because I still don't have Stealth Rock set up yet, I don't have any entry hazards set up yet. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Fortress is going to have to come in at some point and start setting up hazards. So just based on his playstyle that I've seen so far, I'm going to decide to ultimately switch out. And yeah, I was considering this for a while. Did I want to take the risk or did I not want to? So I just decided to switch out just based on his playstyle. I figured he'd want to go for the kill, go into Slowbro. He does go for the Surf here. And doesn't take all that much, so I'm in a pretty good position. Just hoping he doesn't have Hidden Power Electric or something like that, but actually he wouldn't have Hidden Power Electric. I've seen his entire moveset at this point. It's got Sub, Rain Dance, Surf, and Blizzard. That's why I went to Slowbro. I remember now. So he's going to switch out. I do have Toxic on this thing, but I didn't want to go for it in case he might want to maybe try to sub and try to stall me out, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I just go for Surf. Azelf comes back in. I figured this is his answer to Slowbro. He's going to go for the Energy Ball. And I just switch into Heatran again because I know his Azelf can't do anything to my Heatran. He does get the special defense drop. It's really not a big deal though. As you can see, guys, after leftovers, I'm back up at full. So I know he's going to switch out at this point, and this is where I make the numb move again, thinking that I was on Sleep Talk turns and I was going to wake up this turn, but I don't, and in comes a Snorlax. Now things I thought were going to start get interesting, because it's always interesting when they reveal unrevealed pokes. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is some type of Curselax. What my initial thought was. So I'm going to go to Slowbro here, and he goes for Rock Climb, and that really surprised me. I started thinking in my head, maybe this guy pretty much breeds his stuff just like I do, and I don't know. And that further confirmed my suspicion when I see his next poke that he reveals. So he gets a crit, and it did about 250 points of damage. So I figured, okay, I can survive another Rock Climb and slack off the damage, and I find out I actually outspeed his Snorlax, which is really funny. So I get the slack off. He goes for the crunch. And here I thought he might want to just keep trying to crunch because it actually did more damage. So my only hope here is to just continue to slack the damage off and hopefully get up to a point where I'm healthy enough where I can Toxic this thing. Because him going in the Snorlax earlier told me that he does have the thick fat and not immunity. So he's not immune to poison. Else why would he switch Snorlax in on a Heatran? Well, anybody would switch Snorlax in on a Heatran because it's especially defensive. So anyway, guys, just disregard that. I just keep slacking off. I get to a point where I'm comfortable enough to throw the Toxic on him, and he keeps going for Rock Climb here, and I really don't know why. It is a 90 base power stab, and it has the secondary effect of confusion, but Slowbro's got own tempo. This one does anyway, so it can't be confused. It is the absolute 100% Machamp counter. It just shuts Machamp down. Machamp can't do anything. Even Payback does nothing to it if you EV it to be defensive. So he actually reveals that he has Rest here, and I thought I would be able to Toxic stall this thing out, and he's like, nah, that's not gonna happen. So here I thought, okay, he's a Rest Talker, so he's gonna go for the Sleep Talk. So I'm actually gonna switch out here and go into Fortress, figuring that, okay, he's got Crunch, he's got Rock Climb, he can't do anything to my Fortress, and I can just set up my entry hazards. But he actually switches out here, and I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't have Sleep Talk, or maybe he just wants me to keep thinking. So in comes a Shuckle, and I'm like, okay, this is set up fodder too. The only thing I'm really fearing from this thing is Encore. So I just start setting up spikes, figuring even if I get Encored, I'll just spikes a bunch of times and then just switch out. and he actually goes for protect just to see what I wanted to do, and I was like, sweet, I'm just gonna go for toxic spikes at this point. So he sets up stealth rock, and I was thinking, all right, I can rapid spin those. I considered doing it then, but I was like, no, let me just keep setting up hazards, and hopefully I can do it later on. So I get another layer of toxic spikes, and he's actually going to switch out and go into Metagross, and I kind of got scared until I saw the iron defense. So here I just decided to rapid spin now, figuring Metagross can't one-hit KO me with anything. Doesn't have any fire moves, so the worst it can do is Earthquake. He sets up another iron defense. I think at this point I decide, you know what, based on the way he's playing, he's going to keep setting it up, so I'm just going to take this time to go ahead and set up my hazards, and so they'll be helpful to me later on in the match. So I was thinking for a long time here who I wanted to go to. I considered Hippowdon, even though but Hippowdon's at less than half, and I don't want him taking an attack. So ultimately, I do go back to Slowbro and just forego setting up the rocks, even though he's gotten his Zelf, but it's pretty much dead. So go back to Slowbro, kind of show him that his iron defenses are pretty useless because Slowbro's a special attacker. So I'm just going to go for the Surf here. He brings Shuckle back in. He gets the toxic poison on him, and looks like you guys are in for a long match. Wow. He's got a lot of defensive pokes on his team, but you guys will see what happens. So I go for the Surf, does more than half to it, which is awesome because it's like he's in the sand, and Shuckle's a rock type, so he has the special defense bonus on top of his ridiculous defensive stats, and it still does that much. So I don't know, I just kind of take it and run with it. So I'm going to switch out here, and after seeing his entire team, I know that Spiritomb can pretty much run through it. So I switch out and go to Spiritomb. I even considered Hippowdon at that point to set up some rocks, but I just decided, let's try to speed things along, go to Spiritomb. This is a Spiritomb that does set up. It is I guess you can call it Crotoon, which is similar to Crocoon. It's got some Rest Sleep Talk action, Calm Mind, and its only attack is Dark Pulse. So I know Dark Pulse can run through his entire team if I can set it up and get Spiritomb to +6. So that's what I proceed to do. Even though he Toxics me, it's really not going to matter. And I just start setting up Calm Minds. My initial plan was to just get 2 quick Calm Minds up in case he wanted to bring Suicune in, and just go from there. I'm going to rest up off the damage at some point. I believe here is when I do it. And I think at this point, he realizes that it's pretty futile trying to stay in against this Spiritomb. So I'm already at +2. I know I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk, hopefully get a couple more Calm Minds up and sweep, but he actually runs away. So it's an awesome match, ShadowPegasus. Hope to play you again sometime, guys, and definitely look forward to continuing this type of commentary, guys, doing these live battles for you for this team. So anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and sub if you love what you saw, guys, and Chun is out. Peace.